Family, friends, and guests, please take your seats. The ceremony is about to begin.
Hello, class of 2026. And congratulations. Congratulations to the family, the friends, all of the people who are here today to join with these wonderful graduates in celebrating such a great accomplishment. As we begin this ceremony, let's take just a moment together to acknowledge that we stand on the land of the Gabrielino Tongva people who were forcibly removed from it. I'm Elizabeth Daly, and it's my great honor to serve as dean of this school. Graduates, your faculty and I, we look forward to this day every year when we celebrate your accomplishments at the school, along with all of the friends and family you have with you here today, the very people who will help launch you into the next chapter of your life as professional creators and scholars. You're ready to give back to a world that desperately needs your singular, unique abilities and voices. It is a world that needs your understanding of the power of authentic human stories. I firmly believe that despite all the noise about the domination of technology, the irrelevance of free inquiry, the uselessness of expertise, you will, if you so choose, be able to help heal our fractured world and bring change to today's global narrative. I'm completely confident in your ability to use all you have learned at SCA from your faculty, from each other, from the people who've worked with you day in and day out. I know that you will be able to take that forward and by extension, inspire hope, which we really need right now. Your faculty join me in celebrating what you have accomplished, and even more in looking forward to what you are going to do in the future. So please, let's take just a moment and acknowledge the faculty and staff who guided you through your School of Cinematic Arts journey. They will be your friends for the rest of your lives, just as the people sitting beside you from your classes will be. So now, please welcome to the podium Vice Dean of Faculty, Akira Lippitt.
Congratulations, class of 2026. Today we congratulate our graduating students, thank the faculty who helped guide them through their journeys at SCA, but we also acknowledge the contributions of our exceptional staff, who play a vital role in the lives of our students and faculty. Every one of our highly experienced staff brings expertise in the areas they oversee, providing unparalleled levels of support to the school. To put it bluntly, as our dean often does, we would not survive without the invaluable contributions of our staff. Each year, we recognize one member of the staff from among many deserving colleagues. This year's recipient of the SCA Staff Recognition Award is Lisa Fox, Director of Talent Development in the Office of Industry Relations and the inaugural holder of the Edmund and Mariel Safra Endowed Director's Chair. Lisa joined the Office of Industry Relations 13 years ago, not long after moving to Los Angeles from her native New York, to work as a talent agent and development executive. The daughter of an accountant and a teacher, Lisa was in many ways destined to arrive in cinematic arts in this capacity. Of her many accomplishments within and contributions to industry relations, Lisa's signature achievement is without question the first jobs program which she initiated and oversees. This first-of-its-kind program connects SCA students from all divisions, graduate and undergraduate, to SCA-vetted employers throughout the fields that comprise SCA. Students are eligible for this program up to 5 years after graduating. These first jobs match student interests to appropriate employers. Not only does Lisa arrange these matches, she reviews the employers to ensure the best fit for our students. The employers, in turn, have first access to our many talented alumni. Lisa calls this white glove service, in which all introductions as well as all subsequent arrangements are handled by Lisa and her staff. Since the program's inception in 2018, Lisa has placed more than 2,000 SCA students in first jobs. She has signed up over 1,500 employers, and since their first jobs, over 150 SCA alumni have been promoted to higher positions. Moreover, since being placed themselves in first jobs, more than 200 alumni of the program have themselves hired SCA students into their first jobs. Needless to say, we are grateful for and proud of Lisa's accomplishments and the immeasurable benefits this program provides to our students. Her invaluable contributions were recognized this past year when the school installed Lisa as the first holder of the newly established Edmund and Marielle Safra Endowed Director's Chair. Lisa embodies all of the values that we strive for in the School of Cinematic Arts: kindness, generosity, and an enduring commitment to nurturing our students and equipping them with every opportunity for success. Please join me in congratulating this year's recipient of the SCA Staff Recognition Award, Lisa Fox.
Good afternoon, everybody. Before I begin, by a show of hands, who's looking for a job? No. Okay. Another show of hands. Who here is hiring? Great, keep those hands up. I'll be making eye contact with each of you throughout this speech. Standing here today as SCA's Staff Member of the Year is truly an honor and also a bit surreal. This recognition means so much because it reflects something far bigger than me. The success of the First Jobs program, which is about opening doors, building confidence, and guiding our students and alumni into an industry we love, even though, let's be real, it doesn't always love us back. And I've had the privilege of watching that moment happen, that first yes. While it may not be your final job, the highest paid, or the most prestigious, you are now in the game. And that realization, that small yet significant role I've been able to play, is a source of great pride and accomplishment for me. To our star students and alumni, you are the reason this program exists and the reason it thrives. You inspire me every single day with your resilience, your creativity, and your willingness to take chances. Watching you launch your careers, overcome challenges, and then come back to lift others up is the greatest reward. Truly, this recognition belongs to all of you as much as it does to me. We all know the saying, there's no I in team. Nowhere is that more true than here at SCA. The relationships you build here will outlast every class, every deadline, every group project. You're incredibly skilled, talented, and prepared. But remember, it's not just about landing the job. It's about how you show up for each other. Because at the end of the day, people want to work with good people, the kind who treat others with respect, who do the work, and who lead with heart. Your talent opened doors. Your character will keep them open. During orientation, Dean Taylor tells you to look around the room because these are the people who will shape your careers. She is absolutely right. These are the people you'll work with, rely on, complain with, panic with, and one day celebrate with. And while your talent is impressive, let me give you one piece of advice that will save your entire career. Please treat the intern exactly the way you treat the CEO. Because here's the thing. The intern, you may get your matcha with 7 customizations, they're gonna run a studio someday. The assistant whose name you never bothered to learn, one day they will absolutely decide if they hire you. And the student worker you snapped at in front of the whole office because the printer jammed, buddy, that grudge is gonna outlive us all. They'll tell that story at your funeral. Hollywood is tiny, so tiny like we're all basically cousins tiny. Your reputation travels faster than a viral TikTok. Be decent, it costs nothing. Kindness isn't just good humanity, it's good strategy. Titles come and go and power shifts, but how you treat people, that sticks forever. So please lead with respect at every level and lift others as you climb. It's easy to be kind, and it's always the right choice. In such uncertain and strange times, let's all please make a little more space for kindness. Now, I want to thank the people who deserve all the credit for keeping me functional. I want to thank my incredible boss and mentor, Bonnie Chi. Your leadership and guidance have helped me shape this program and my own growth in ways I can't even begin to express. Thank you for believing in our big ideas and for supporting our industry relations team throughout this wonderful journey we're all taking together. To our fearless leader, Dean Elizabeth Daly, thank you for your constant support of programs like First Jobs that bring the classroom and real world together in such meaningful ways. Your vision enables us to think bigger, reach further, and pursue our passion with purpose. Michael, Aki, our chairs, and the entire industry relations team, this work truly takes a village. Your collaboration, your encouragement, and your willingness to jump in at any moment mean everything. I'm proud to be part of a team that not only works hard, but genuinely shows up for one another. And to our student workers, I could not do this without you. Thank you. To Aaron Kaplan, thank you for dreaming up the First Jobs program and for trusting me with it. It has been a privilege to help build something that's making a real impact. Over 2,000 hires and growing every day. Our partnership means everything to me. And to my family, my husband Marcus, and our children, Hayden, Maya, and Rowan. Thank you for loving me through my deeply unstable relationship with my email inbox. Thank you for pretending not to notice me typing away during Irish dance competitions, soccer tournaments, tennis lessons, Hebrew school, and even the occasional medical appointment. Thank you for letting me say 5 more minutes, even though we all really know that means I have no idea when I'll actually be done. I can't wait to see each of you sitting here one day, receiving, or somewhere like it, receiving your own diplomas. So keep going, keep growing, and keep showing up, and please never stop dreaming. Your mom is proud of you, and I believe in you more than you'll ever know. Thank you all for this incredible honor. It is truly all of ours to share. I am so proud to be part of this SCA community and so proud of all of you. Congratulations to the class of 2026. Now let's go get your first yes. Fight on.
Congratulations again to Lisa Fox. Now please welcome to the podium Professor Gail Katz, who holds the Mary Pickford Endowed Chair at the School of Cinematic Arts. Gail.
Each year, the School of Cinematic Arts and the Mary Pickford Foundation present the Mary Pickford Award to an SCA alum whose achievements bring special distinction to the school and to our industry. Mary Pickford was an internationally famous silver screen legend who appeared in more than 200 silent films. She demanded and received complete artistic control over her work and a salary on a par with the salaries of the most popular male film actors of her time. Yeah. In 1919, she formed the United Artists Corporation with D.W. Griffith, Charlie Chaplin, and Douglas Fairbanks Sr., leading a movement to give actors and directors greater creative control and artistic freedom. She was also among the first supporters of our school, joining other superstars of the day in promoting the new cinema training program at USC in 1929, almost a century ago. SCA alums who've received the Pickford Award include John Singleton, Shonda Rhimes, Kevin Feige, Amanda Silver, James Ivory, Prentice Penny, and Stacy Scher, among others. This year, Director John M. Chu will be presenting the Mary Pickford Alumni Award. One of his generation's most talented, visionary, and celebrated directors, John took the world by storm with the groundbreaking romantic comedy, Crazy Rich Asians, and musicals In the Heights, the Oscar-nominated Wicked, and Wicked for Good. A 2003 graduate of the School of Cinematic Arts, he was the keynote speaker at last year's USC university-wide commencement ceremony at the Coliseum, where he received an honorary doctorate degree. So now he is also a doctor, making his parents even prouder. Please welcome Director John M. Chu.
Thank you, thank you. Great artists change cinema. Great friends change your life. Alice Brooks did both. Now, I heard about Alice Brooks before I ever actually met her, because when I started production classes here at USC in 1999, over 25 years ago, oh God, she was already a legend on campus. People whispered about this extraordinary artist who had not only become the cinematographer of a 480 film, but had written it too, and she wasn't even a senior. At the time, that felt almost mythical. And then I saw the film, and I still remember the opening shot. We moved through this subway car, which, by the way, how do you get a subway car in a 480? But we're moving, maybe now you do, I don't know, virtual. But you're moving through the subway car in one fluid motion, never cutting, and the lights begin flickering. And every time the lights go dark, black light graffiti explodes across the walls, glowing neon color, passengers, all these things, until finally the title emerges out of the darkness itself. Meta is what it was called. Yes, the most student film title of a movie you could name. But I remember sitting there stunned, because in one shot, Alice demonstrated a deeper understanding of movement, light, emotion, rhythm, and cinematic storytelling than most of us could accomplish in an entire feature. She understood something instinctively that filmmakers spend their whole lives trying to learn. Cinematography is not about the cameras. It is about feeling. Years later, when I was prepping my 481 project, I knew exactly who I wanted to work with. We met at a Starbucks here on campus, down the street there. Alice still enjoys reminding me that I was 45 minutes late. Sorry about that. And I walked in carrying a giant binder of visual references and said, I want to make a musical. Now you have to understand, this time it was not a cool thing to say. Musicals were essentially dead, but Alice's mischievous eyes lit up immediately. Soulmates. She said, I've always wanted to do a musical. I'm in. But also, please don't be late again. And from that moment on, it began. That little student project sparked a creative partnership and friendship that would stretch decades. Features, commercials, television shows, failures, breakthroughs, survival, dreams. Before our first big studio film together, I gave Alice a starting gift, a small music box that played When You Wish Upon a Star, because we genuinely couldn't believe it had happened. 2 USC film students were about to make a studio movie together, just like they promised us. Who knew it could happen? Now, that movie did not exactly set the world on fire. In fact, I think it was the lowest opening weekend of a major movie released in history, but that's not important. We survived. And sometimes surviving together matters more than succeeding quickly. Yes. And then came our first musical feature, Lin-Manuel Miranda's In the Heights. Lin-Manuel Miranda loved working with her so much that he brought her onto his directorial debut, Tick, Tick, Boom. And honestly, I was a little jealous, not gonna lie. Yeah, he took her from me. But also I was incredibly proud, because when people discover Alice, they tend to want to keep her forever. And through those 2 films, something shifted. Alice was no longer just a brilliant cinematographer. The world started recognizing her as one of the defining visual storytellers of the modern movie musical. And then came Wicked, and Wicked for Good. A 5-year journey that earned over $1 billion worldwide and helped millions rediscover the magic of Oz. But when I think about Alice's work on Wicked, I don't first think about the spectacle. I don't think about the cranes, the lenses, the technology. I think about the humanity she brought to it. Because she doesn't look at people like objects inside the frame. She uses their humanity outside of it first. I remember Cynthia Erivo feeling vulnerable and nervous one day about how she would look on screen, and Alice quietly grabbed her hand and simply said, I'm gonna take care of you. And Cynthia immediately relaxed completely, because she knew it was true. That is Alice Brooks. Actors trust her, directors trust her, crews trust her. And I remember another day on Wicked while we were planning the Ariana Grande Girl in the Bubble sequence. It was technically overwhelming. The camera moving through an impossible, uninterrupted shot of mirrors inside mirrors, reflections swallowing reflections. None of us could figure out how to actually execute it. We didn't have Mr. Zemeckis there, but literally a conference room full of dudes arguing about how to pull it off. And then Alice walked into the room carrying dolls and bath toys from her daughter's room. And with absolute calm clarity, she demonstrated the entire sequence across the conference table with toys, precise, elegant, effortless. Apparently she had figured it out at home while playing with her daughter. And I remember thinking, this is the full Alice Brooks experience, the visionary, the mother, the technician, all operating at once. Today, Alice serves on the board of the governors of the American Society of Cinematographers. She is one of only a handful of women ever nominated for the ASC Award for Outstanding Achievement in Cinematography. Yes. And somehow, if that wasn't enough, she's currently working on Spider-Man Beyond the Spider-Verse. She's about to shoot Sarah Polley's The Bell Jar with Billie Eilish. I know, she's like the coolest person ever. And fun fact, as a child, she did reoccurring skits on Late Night with David Letterman. You might remember, your parents might recognize it. And she is the Scream in the movie Scream. True story. She still gets residuals checks for it. And the Mary Pickford Award carries enormous meaning because Mary Pickford herself helped invent what Hollywood could become. She was not simply a movie star, she was a founder, a producer, a visionary, a woman who pushed against limitations placed upon her and changed the industry permanently, including this institution. And in all ways, Alice belongs directly in that lineage because she is a part of that contribution. Her relentless pursuit of excellence, despite the resistance of precedents, has made her impossible to ignore. And through all of it, she has somehow remained deeply curious and mischievous as ever. On the first day of shooting Wicked, Alice and I were carpooling, so I wasn't late. And on that drive, we were reminiscing about USC, about those impossible dreams we had as students. How surreal it was that somehow these two kids from film school who met at that Starbucks sharing our dreams to make musicals were now making one of the biggest movie musicals ever attempted. And we were scared. This could destroy our lives. And Alice handed me a gift. So I opened it and found a music box. And this one engraved with a single word: unlimited. I immediately burst into tears because dreams coming true is wonderful. But the thing that makes dreams truly meaningful is when they come true with your best friends. And today, for once, I don't have to be the person telling Alice how extraordinary she is. Today, USC gets to say it. This place where we met, this place where her journey began, this home, gets to say to one of its greatest artists, Alice Brooks, you are unlimited. Great artists change cinema, great friends change your life. Alice Brooks has done both, and she has much more planned for us all. So it's my absolute honor to present the 2026 Mary Pickford Award to my sister, my collaborator, and my hero, Alice Brooks.
Thank you, John. It has been an incredible journey with John. 25 years ago, I was sitting exactly where you guys are right now. I was sitting on that side, and I was I was listening to Robert Zemeckis give the commencement speech. He was one of my heroes. I grew up on Back to the Future and saw Forrest Gump in the movie theater 7 times the summer it came out. And I don't remember a single word he said. I'm sorry, Mr. Zemeckis. But I remember the feeling. It's the same feeling I had when I fell in love with movies. So I want to try this little experiment. So everyone in this audience, everyone behind me, close your eyes. Not just the graduates, everyone. This only works if everyone does it. Please close your eyes. Now go back to the very first movie you remember watching. Maybe you're on the sofa, surrounded by your family. Maybe you sneak downstairs in the middle of the night. Maybe it is a dark theater full of strangers. Maybe you're holding one of your parents' hands. What is this moment? What does it feel like? What does it sound like? Is it loud, or is it so quiet you have to lean in? Let yourself really feel it. Now open your eyes and hold on to that feeling, because that feeling is the reason you're here. For me, I'm curled up in my dad's arms. Night presses against the dark sky. The Empire State Building glows in the distance. We're watching The Natural, directed by Barry Levinson, starring Robert Redford and shot by USC alum Caleb Deschanel. I'm too young to understand the movie, but I feel it. And for me, that feeling comes from the light. A villain lurking in the shadows, a halo of light around a woman. She looks like an angel. Slow motion sparks fly through the air, illuminating a baseball field as the hero runs the bases. I know it is magic. And in this moment, without even knowing it, my life as a storyteller begins. I grew up in a teeny apartment in New York City, a tenement apartment. We had 300 square feet, 1 bedroom, a bathtub in the kitchen, and 4 humans. My mom, my dad, me, my sister, and we had 2 dogs and a cat. If you've seen my film, Tick, Tick, Boom, it looked a lot like Jonathan Larson's apartment in that film. My dad was a playwright, and we didn't have much money, but our house was always full. It was full of love and imagination and music and art. To help support our family, my sister and I became child actors when I was 5 years old. We mostly did commercials, although John told you some other secrets. And even then, what fascinated me wasn't in front of the camera. It was the people behind it, especially the people with the lights. When I was 10, my sister's acting career took off, and we moved from New York City to Los Angeles for her. My parents would pick me up after school, and I would go sit in a dark sound stage where she was working at any studios, Sony, Paramount, Disney, Warner Brothers. But I was supposed to be doing my homework, but what I was really doing was watching. And as each light turned on, I began to understand that you could create an entire world out of an empty, dark space. When I was 15, I went on to what would become my last audition. It was a movie called While You Were Sleeping, directed by another alum, John Turteltaub. I had already had 7 callbacks for the sister role, and it came down to me and another girl. When I walked out of that audition, I knew in my heart I didn't get the role. My mom and I went for a walk on the beach in Santa Monica, and I said to my mom, "Mama, I don't want to be an actress. I want to be a cinematographer." And she said, "I know." I looked down, and there was this teeny little feather, beautiful feather, and I picked it up. And I still have it, 32 years later. It has traversed the entire world with me. It's a reminder of that moment I declared my dream. And my mom said, "Okay, let's figure out how to get you into USC." It was the place where all her very favorite filmmakers graduated from: George Lucas, Steven Spielberg, Robert Zemeckis, Ron Howard. And so I got to work. I spent my days in the dark room at school. I would take every single break and go into the dark room, always with a 6-pack of Diet Coke and a box of fat-free Entenmann's. I was very health conscious. I was learning how to frame the world I saw, how to expose a negative, how to experiment. At night, I would write stories. I would show them to my dad. He would mark them up, and I would go back to my room and keep writing. And when it came time to apply to USC Film School, my mom walked me into the admissions office, application in hand, with my photographs and my most visual short story, 4 Cigarettes. My mom said, "We don't have money to send Alice here, but she deserves to go here." 2 weeks later, I had my acceptance letter. Then I came here to USC, and for the first time in my life, I found my people. People who saw the world the way I did. People who stayed up all night making something out of nothing. People who would become my collaborators, community, and my friends for the next 25 years. People like my fellow film students, John M. Chu, Ryan Landells, Avi Awebian. This place gave me so much more than an education. It gave me my world. They have been my Tin Man, my lion, and my scarecrow. I won't tell you which one doesn't have a brain. Sorry, my husband wrote that line. Ryan, one of my closest allies, taught me the power of self-confidence and a kind heart. My wildest friend, Avi, taught me never to take no for an answer. John taught me the power of creating your own destiny and the importance of building a film family. And then there's my most unexpected friend, Woody Omens, my professor of cinematography. He just had his 90th birthday a few weeks ago. He taught me the power of curiosity and the power of always asking questions. I never would have guessed that someone 43 years older than me would have become the greatest friend of my life. And then right before I graduated, I learned one more thing. I needed one last cinema credit to graduate. So I took a producing class. I had no interest in producing at all. On the last day, a guest lecturer came in and shared his view of Hollywood. He told us a story of a brick wall. He said trying to make it in Hollywood is like trying to get to the other side of a massive brick wall with no doors, no windows. The only way through is to throw stones at it. Nothing will happen for a long time. It might be years, it might be decades. And then one day you're gonna see this teeny hole, this little teeny tiny hole. And that's the moment that you're gonna wanna give up. But that is the moment you have to try harder than you have ever tried before, because you're closer than you think. At the time, it sounded poetic, very simple. And then I graduated, and I found my wall. And I started throwing and throwing. For 17 years, I threw. Waiting tables, doing independent films, shooting anything I could possibly shoot, trying to make it. There were moments of incredible highs and moments of very real lows. My lowest low came on my 39th birthday, January 26th, a Friday afternoon. My husband and I were driving from San Diego to Los Angeles. Our 2-year-old was asleep in the back seat. On Monday, I was supposed to start prep on what was my first non-independent project. I had finally gotten my big break, a real paycheck, a real job. It was a pilot for ABC that John Chu was directing. And then my phone rang. They weren't gonna make the show. It was over. I hung up and I broke. I cried harder than I've ever cried in my entire life. The dream I declared when I was 15 years old, when I found that feather, felt impossible. I turned to my husband, Sam, and I said, I'm done. I want something else, something easier, something safer, something that did not break my heart. And he said, okay. And then there was a long pause. And he said, you can do that, but not yet. You have to wait 6 months. And in those 6 months, you have to try harder than you've ever tried before. Work harder than you've ever worked. At first I argued, I already have. And then something shifted. I realized no one was gonna hand me anything. No one was gonna show me the way. I had to build it. I remembered that wall. I had to keep throwing stones for 6 more months. I had to keep going. I had to create my own destiny. No one was gonna choose me. I had to choose myself. So I did. For 6 months, I gave it everything I had. Every other week, I would fly to Los Angeles from Portland, Maine, where we live. I called everyone I had ever known, some people I hadn't talked to in decades. I filled my days with coffee breakfast, coffee lunch, coffee dinner drinks, meeting after meeting after meeting. And I was completely open, completely vulnerable about where I was in my life. And something began to happen. One of those coffees turned into a producer telling me I needed a new agent. That afternoon, I was sitting in front of an agent at UTA. 2 weeks later, I had a movie. It was still an independent, but bigger than anything I had done. And on that film, I got my confidence back. And 6 months to the day, John called me and offered me a TV series for Apple TV+. And while we were prepping that show, John asked me to shoot In the Heights. And just like that, 17 years after I graduated from USC, everything changed. All right, let's do this one last time. Close your eyes. Remember that first film you saw? That spark? That feeling? Now go forward. See yourself the moment you opened your acceptance letter, the moment you walked through the gates of the USC School of Cinematic Arts for the first time. Your first class, the first time you picked up a camera, the first time you struck a light, the first time you watched your dailies, the night you didn't sleep because you cared too much, the first time you made something and someone else watched it. And now this moment, the people around you, the ones who have been on this journey with you. Feel all of it, that spark, that joy, that possibility. Hold on to that, because that is your fuel. Now open your eyes. Here's the truth. There's no predetermined path. There's no single way your story's gonna go. You already have everything you need. Your perspective, your voice, your resilience. And most importantly, your ability to keep going, to keep throwing, to keep creating. Your destiny is not something that happens to you. It is something you build every day with every choice, with every risk you take, with every moment you decide not to quit. No one is coming to choose you. You have to choose yourself. And if you ever forget that, just remember the words of Miles Morales from Spider-Verse. Everyone keeps telling me how my story is supposed to go. Nah, I'm gonna do my own thing. Hold on to that feeling. Now go tell your story. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Alice. I think we are all deeply, deeply moved by your words today. And now, it's my great pleasure to introduce your commencement speaker, writer, director, producer, and of course, once again, USC alumnus, Jason Reitman. Jason is an Academy Award-nominated filmmaker who most recently wrote, produced, and directed the film Saturday Night, inspired by the 90 minutes leading up to the first broadcast of Saturday Night Live. I suspect you've all seen it. Jason made his feature debut with the Sundance hit Thank You for Smoking, which if you haven't seen, you should. He earned an Academy Award nomination for directing Juno and Up in the Air. And as a producer, he oversaw 4 seasons of the Hulu comedy series Casual. He also produced the Academy Award-winning film Whiplash and Demolition. So during the COVID pandemic, while everyone was wringing their hands, Jason created and directed Home Movie, The Princess Bride, which features celebrities recreating scenes from the beloved film and managed to raise with that over $1 million for World Central Kitchen, which helps community organizations provide critical food during times of crisis. So Jason's credits, yep. Jason's credits also include Ghostbusters Afterlife and is the sequel, Ghostbusters Frozen Empire. Now, one of Jason's newest undertakings, which we're all very grateful for, is that he has led the effort to save the historic Westwood Village Theater, which is being renovated and is scheduled to reopen. Next year, it will reopen, and we will all go back to get to see films as they were meant to be seen on the big screen. So please, Jason is also a governor with the Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences, serving on the director's branch. He's active in the DGA and every other thing I can think of in this industry. So please join me in welcoming Jason Reitman.
Hi, Mom. Congratulations, Alice Brooks. I am honored to share the stage with you. That was absolutely beautiful. When you told me to close my eyes, I was back on a scoring stage. I was 4 years old with my father. Thank you for that. That was beautiful. To the class of 2026, it's 2026. Congratulations on this incredible accomplishment, and thank you for having me as your commencement speaker. And thank you, Dean Daly, for honoring me with this moment. When she invited me to speak today, I was hit with an immediate burst of pride, then of course was consumed by unrelenting, soul-crushing fear. Ira Glass just did an episode of This American Life on commencement speeches. He's not a fan. He described the act as a momentary delay in the receipt of diplomas. I'm sure you agree. He also reassured that no graduate ever remembers their commencement speaker. By the way, he's right. I had to look mine up. I couldn't for the life of me remember who spoke at USC the year I graduated. You know who it was? Bill Cosby. And in that moment, I realized the pressure is off. If I can't remember that Bill Cosby spoke, there's literally no way you're going to remember my being here or anything I said about your illustrious futures. I've wanted to tell stories as long as I can remember. My father was a director. I grew up on movie sets, hanging out on the trucks. My first kiss was on a soundstage. Actually, it was in a scene of one of my father's films, Kindergarten Cop. That's right. My father directed my first kiss. We did 10 takes. I earned my therapy. My father worked with a producer named Danny Goldberg. They met in college, like many of you, and made a lifetime of movies together. Look around. You may be sitting next to your own Danny Goldberg right now. Danny once told me a story about them as college kids driving in the middle of the night to shoot a scene at the shore off Lake Ontario. It was the night of the moon landing, the night Neil Armstrong set foot on the lunar surface and the whole world watched. Danny said he and my dad were driving to set, listening on the radio, looking up at the sky. It's such an evocative image. And all it made me think was, my dad skipped the moon landing to make a short film. Literally, as the world watched Neil Armstrong take one giant leap for mankind, my dad was probably leveling dolly track. And this would seem absolutely insane to anybody else but the graduating class of USC's School of Cinematic Arts. We have different priorities. I made my first short film in 1997. It was a comedy about kidney stealing. If you saw it, you would say, I get it. You really, really want to be Quentin Tarantino. At the time, you would have been correct. We shot at a hotel a couple blocks away from here. It's no longer there, and frankly, calling the Vagabond Inn a hotel is a little generous. We were shooting in the middle of the night on a 20-hour day. The cops showed up around midnight to shut us down. I was 100% filming without a permit. When I stepped out to plead my case, they realized I was a student filmmaker and promptly admitted that when they saw the camera crew in the seedy motel room, they thought we were making a porno. I assured them that this was nothing as professional as that. Much to the dismay of my crew, the police allowed us to keep shooting. The last few weeks, I've been trying to remember what it felt like to be in your seats right now. Your future's entirely before you. I think it's easy for someone my age to forget how scary it is to be where you're sitting. Not a day goes by without someone forwarding me an article about the dawn of artificial intelligence or runaway production or whether streaming will be the end of movie theaters. It feels like a uniquely scary moment, and perhaps it is. 30 years ago, my father gave the commencement speech at the University of Toronto, where he grew up. I went back and reread his speech to prepare for today, and it shocked me how appropriate his words were for 2026. He said, "Today we are angry at the press, angry at television, angry at people who are well off, angry at people who are poor. The anger is a symptom of the amazing technological shifts we now have to deal with. The sound you hear is change, and it's coming fast, and it has everyone scared." He said that in 1997. The fear at the time? DVDs. It was the year they were introduced, and the industry was terrified of what that might do to the very profitable VHS market. Look, as I look at the landscape today, clearly what frightens people the most is AI. What it means for our jobs, what it means for our art, what it means for the century-old industry that is filmmaking. I'll say this. I don't want to buy an AI painting. I mean, if a computer picks up a paintbrush and pumps out a Jackson Pollock, I'm not going to buy it, let alone visit it in a museum. Meanwhile, the same painting by a human being will always have value. A great work of art by a human being is something we want to live with and learn from. Why is that? I believe it's because it has a voice. It is not the average of every written word in the history of the English language. It is not the most likely next letter or pixel is determined by a prediction model. It is the voice of a person who is trying to solve the same problems we always have. What are we doing here? What gives our lives meaning? So as you sit there considering what comes next and how to plot a life that won't be made obsolete by rising technology, my question to you is, what is your voice? Now, if you're anything like I was, your voice is currently a reflection of everything you like, everything you think a filmmaker should sound like, look like. Like, as I said, if you saw my first couple short films, you go, I get it, you like Quentin Tarantino. And it happens to all of us. First time we pick up a guitar or a paintbrush or a camera, we copy the ones we admire because we think that's what art is supposed to look like. The whole time ignoring the little voice in the back of our heads that wants to say it our way. Because for whatever reason, at first, our voices are embarrassing. But the true act of becoming an artist is the moment you begin to trust that vulnerable and unique voice in the back of your head that wants to say something as it has never been said before. I'm not saying it's easy. Embracing your own voice is about as easy as looking in the mirror and telling the person you see, you're beautiful, I love you. I mean, it's cringy even as I say that out loud. But as an artist, you must find the bravery to look at your own voice and tell it, I love you. To tell stories your own way, even if you don't know what that is yet. Because the world is not waiting for the next PTA or Del Toro or Coogler or Zhao or Chu or Gerwig or Safdie or Zemeckis or Spielberg. The world is waiting for you. Will it? It's true. Will it be perfect? Absolutely not. And I get it. You're probably terrified of making mistakes, particularly these days when imperfection feels punishable by law. But this is your 20s. This is your decade of screwing up. Don't dabble in failure. It's time to fuck up. I say commit. Build things even though they'll break. Try things even though they'll fail. Eat the food from the back of the fridge. Write text messages at 1 a.m. Send them at 3. Cut your own bangs. Have an affair. Don't have 2. One's enough. Yes, your success will make great dinner conversation, but your failures will make you much better storytellers. And if you survive them, and you probably will, they will make you someone worth listening to. It's not your job to be famous. It's not your job to get into the Vanity Fair party. It's not your job to be on the 30 under 30 list or the 40 under 40 list or whatever depressing list they have for people my age. It is your job to make the world feel less lonely. It is your job to show human frailty on screen as a reminder that we are all imperfect. It is your job to share lives we might not ever see, because this is how we open our hearts and whittle away our prejudice. Science is incredible at telling us how the world works, but we answer the impossible questions with stories. Movies teach us who we are and how to behave. Think about it. For a better part of a century, we as a species have learned how to kiss by watching movies. We learn how to fall in love, how to break up, how to fight, and more importantly, how to forgive. Just imagine everything you will teach to people you have never met. A few years ago, a couple approached me after a screening and showed me a photo of a little girl. They said, this is our daughter. Her name is Juno. They named her Juno because the girl's birth mother saw my film as a pregnant teenager and she chose adoption. Storytelling is a superpower. The only question is how you'll use it. My family survived the Second World War and escaped post-war persecution. They literally escaped under the floorboards of a boat. And when they arrived in Canada, my grandfather said to my father, who was 5 years old, "Don't be afraid. This is a wonderful country. We will have a good life. You can follow your dreams here." I say to this class of 2026, I say the same. Don't be afraid. You've picked a noble pursuit and you have worked so very hard to get here. You will have a good life telling stories. You can follow your dreams here. So have courage, aim high, and do what Trojans have always done in the face of adversity. Fight on. Congratulations.
Thank you so much, Jason. It's wonderful to have you here today. Now, the moment you've all been waiting for, yes, I know, the presentation of degrees. Let me just say, we have a lot of you graduating today, and we want to celebrate all of the graduates of our school, and so we ask that everyone please remain in your seats until all the graduates have received their degree. And now, I'm going to welcome to the podium Professor Michael Renoff, Vice Dean for Academic Affairs.
Today, we're conferring degrees, more than 500 of them. The BA and BFA, the MA, the MS, the MFA, and the PhD from 8 academic programs. The Kevin Feige Division of Film and Television, I left out the word production, which I should not do. Interactive media and games. Cinema and Media Studies, the John Wells Division of Writing for Screen and Television, the John C. Hench Division of Animation and Digital Arts, the Expanded Animation Research and Practice MFA program, and the Peter Stark Producing Program. Our school was founded nearly a century ago, yet we remain committed to growth and change to meet the challenges of a dynamic media industry and an ever-evolving global audience. New technologies, platforms, aesthetic forms, and market forces may emerge, but the core SCA mission remains. Share cutting-edge knowledge, model critical thinking, ethical behavior, creativity, collaboration, and social engagement, and inspire students' ambitions even at risk of failure. Graduates, we're proud of you. We celebrate your achievements. As you walk across the stage and leave us, you simultaneously join a cadre of 18,000 living alumni of the USC School of Cinematic Arts. You're with us to stay. And now, to confer the degrees on graduates of the John Wells Division of Writing for Screen and Television, Chair Mary Sweeney, and welcoming our graduates to the stage, Kristen Davis.
Presenting the recipients of the Bachelor of Fine Arts in Writing for Screen and Television.
Brian North, magna cum laude.
Presenting Brian's diploma is his mother, Karen North, clinical professor at the Annenberg School for Communication and Journalism.
Lily O'Loughlin, summa cum laude. Lindsay Wong, summa cum laude. Andrew Perot, magna cum laude.
Alana Fredericks, magna cum laude.
Patrick Steinbaugh, summa cum laude.
Catherine Jensen, cum laude. Charlie Corman, summa cum laude. Sydney Lazar, cum laude.
Braden Nacino. Sally McCampbell, cum laude. Sophia Teresa Schilb, cum laude.
Taylor Michelle Hubbard, cum laude. Daisy Amelia Kaplan, cum laude.
Sophia Nicole, magna cum laude.
Michaela Lyzak, summa cum laude.
Santiago Osuna.
Chiara D'Ambrosio, summa cum laude.
Brighton Snyder, magna cum laude.
Adeline Aaron, magna cum laude.
Viv Simone, summa cum laude.
Anya Graciela Jimenez, magna cum laude. Alexis Kim, magna cum laude.
Liam Stevenson, magna cum laude.
Alexandra Kirchner, summa cum laude. Colette Lonchar, summa cum laude. Kamal Abdul Jabbar.
Olivia Jewel Perello, magna cum laude. Daisy No, summa cum laude. Joshua Ji Huang O, magna cum laude.
Presenting the recipients of the Master of Fine Arts in Writing for Screen and Television.
Lanidra Lulu Cornelius.
Olukayode Oladeji.
Emmanuel Key.
Fulton Myrek. Ali Woodson.
Aidan Cullen.
Jack Siebert. Brett Wolf.
Charlotte Deanda.
Alexander Lennon Walter. Nicole Soleiman.
Jeremy Kalkowski. Faye Gargash.
Danny Chicon Ramirez.
Jackie Lee. John Gonzalez.
Rebecca Potters.
Forrest Love. Lauren Bedford.
Haegon Chen.
Isaac Cole.
Paris Smith. Doran Seth. Jessica Seidel. Tim Rock. Marie Tagbo. Nikita Zark.
Rocky Kari. Tibiron. Regan Baruch.
Nia Robinson.
And now to confer the degrees on graduates of the John C. Hinch Division of Animation and Digital Arts, Chair Nicole West, and welcoming our graduates to the stage, Rachel Levine.
Presenting the recipients of the Bachelor of Fine Arts in Animation and Digital Arts.
Eve Levy, magna cum laude. Mateo Aldon, magna cum laude. Colin Garrity, cum laude.
Christina Zhang, summa cum laude. Christina Zhou.
Rebecca Harder Foist, summa cum laude. Jamie Lee, summa cum laude. Yanis Lee, cum laude. Jaden Chen, magna cum laude. Emma Fong, magna cum laude. Oak Bediaco.
Luca Silberman, magna cum laude.
Thomas Groves, magna cum laude. Erica Garay, summa cum laude.
Presenting the recipients of the Master of Fine Arts in Animation and Digital Arts.
Nuadi Ah. Lysander Alston Kramer.
Jiu Zhang.
Sunhee Jung. Floria Xiaoshan Huang.
Kushal Subramanya.
Hankian Bao. Ciara Borgards. Drawing Zuoying Chen.
Mu Guozhang.
Next, to confer the degrees on graduates of the Expanded Animation Research and Practice Program, Director Sheila M. Sophian. And welcoming our graduates to the stage, Arlene Belarus.
Presenting the recipients of the Master of Fine Arts in Expanded Animation Research and Practice.
Danielle Lynn Chitt.
Zepping Sun. Joshi Wu. Zemming Sun. Sujia Zheng.
And now to confer the degrees on graduates of the Peter Stark Producing Program, Chair Edward Saxon, and welcoming our graduates to the stage, Michael Lane.
Presenting the recipients of the Master of Fine Arts in Producing for Film, Television, and New Media.
Samuel Shapson. Elena Malashenko.
Ted Taekun Kim.
Ernest John Smither IV. Rory Taylor.
Natania Juhar. Harrison Robert Donald K. John Young Jenny Kim. Sam Hardy. Emma Kuipers.
Alexander Zinn. Olivia Whiteley.
Daniel Davidson Kalmar.
Anvitha Pentaparthi. Jacqueline Snyers. Sarah Reshamwala.
Matthew Chanu. Kelsey Henderson. Mick Cohen Carroll. Johari Dean Lindsay. Martin Luther Bowier.
Leah Ritterband. David Quinn. Kylie Mahoney.
Next, to confer the degrees on the graduates of the Division of Film and Television Production, Chair Susan Arnold, and welcoming our graduates to the stage, Cedric Berry.
Presenting the recipients of the Bachelor of Arts and Bachelor of Fine Arts in Cinematic Arts, Film, and Television Production.
Octavian Call.
Ife Olariwaju, summa cum laude.
Sona Ernest, magna cum laude.
Danielle Saravia Varela, magna cum laude.
Thomas Fitzgerald, magna cum laude.
Vivan Yardi.
Chloe Eloise Malay, summa cum laude.
Sane Sabu.
Mina Andrea Buena Belidhon, cum laude.
Edwin Robinson Scott IV.
Allison May Church, cum laude.
Gabriel Studer Randall.
Rin Daniel.
Veer Srinivas.
Malani Fenner Smith, summa cum laude.
Catherine Snow.
Joe Branson, magna cum laude.
Seda Papazian, magna cum laude.
Catherine Yan Swan Lee, summa cum laude.
Ella Stone, magna cum laude.
Jack Gilbo,
Keelan Machado.
Ryan Boxer, magna cum laude.
Kai Vega Willie.
Adam Bloodgood, summa cum laude. Joshua Kuo, Jeffrey Jang,
Anthony Tallarico, summa cum laude.
Mason Floyd Deaver, magna cum laude.
Daniela Raphael, magna cum laude.
Laura Amelia Furness Rowe, cum laude. Venus Lordson, cum laude.
Eric R.C.
Ryan Saywitz.
Mia Brazo, summa cum laude.
Harlow Schumann, cum laude.
Zaliha Ajar, magna cum laude.
Luis Perez Barrio.
Nathan Conlan Gildred, magna cum laude.
Darren Wong Chung En, magna cum laude.
Layla Al-Alawi, cum laude.
Emmanuel Ortiz, cum laude.
Matias Lievano, magna cum laude.
Caitlin Nora Tenbrunsel, cum laude.
Evan Lin, magna cum laude.
Brandon Wu, magna cum laude.
Jordan Godburn, magna cum laude.
Thomas Young, summa cum laude.
Michaela Ash, magna cum laude.
Cynthia Wynn, magna cum laude.
Si Oria Jera, cum laude.
Naomi Zika, cum laude.
Meg Hartung, magna cum laude. Yuming Liu Alice, summa cum laude. Ethan Go, cum laude. Jiayang Liu, cum laude. Aden Bertish, magna cum laude. Alexander Zichuan Guo, magna cum laude. Micaiah Lee. Bien Gerard Baggy.
Liam McEnany.
John Kim. Alicia Boone.
Ryan Shanahan, cum laude.
Evelyn Flores Juarez.
Fletcher Simon, cum laude.
Domenica Leon Arevalo.
Felipe Mac Allister, magna cum laude.
Alana Bright.
Zane Zemeckis.
Isaiah Colemansberger, magna cum laude.
Reese Zemeckis.
Maxwell Mines.
Hugh Holmes, cum laude.
Athena Marie Stuebe, cum laude.
Keep going? Yeah, just keep going.
Henry Roth.
Jetong Alex Lee, magna cum laude. Michael Bliss, cum laude. William Grossa, summa cum laude. Madeline Grace Gifforgis.
Heriberto Melendez.
Jacob Degnan Levy.
Sophia Malkasian, cum laude.
Olivia Dagatti.
Isan Zida, magna cum laude. Jenna Miller, magna cum laude. Cecilia Moe. Sydney White. MJ Albar Ross, cum laude.
Qingyan Huang, magna cum laude.
Qingyi Song, cum laude.
Shaori Gomatham, magna cum laude. Jackson Hayes, magna cum laude. Jake De La Rosa, cum laude.
Aryan Tomar, magna cum laude.
Jeff Liu.
Samuel Torres, magna cum laude. Alyssa Rose Velarde. Fernanda Tapia, cum laude. Renee Story, cum laude. Chloe Ayana Reese Rankin, cum laude.
Nia Luanga.
Presenting the recipients of the Master of Fine Arts in Cinematic Arts, Film and Television Production.
Tanya Agarwal. Jeremy Blancaflor Kaur. Grace Marie Galarraga. Stephen Fox. Julia Byers. Leonardo Garcia. Sonia Patia.
Jia Tian Tan.
Anna Kolan.
Peng Chen.
William de Garden Sanier.
Qingquang Wang.
Jaden Parker Essie.
Royer Jingwei Yu.
Sean Foster.
Maggie Mingjun Zheng.
Elise Francis Garner. Jishin Justin Lee.
Maya Oster. Olivia Zhang.
Jacob Pillar.
Yichi Wang.
Dhruvraj Singh Bhatti.
Lingtong Zhao.
Colin Gong Gillespie.
Shufan Zhang. Uhoman April Moltok. Yifeng Wang.
Shreya Sanjay Jha.
Sifan Allison Wu.
Catherine Killeen.
Tianmi Zhang.
Sung Liu.
Yuxiao Zhang,
Yining Dai,
Diana Yingzhang,
Timothy Fei, Ziyi Li,
Iman Kadri, Candice May Williamson,
Wesley Ehart,
Sarah Ann Shankman,
Yida Liu,
Benjamin James Nestor, Yaoqing Yang, Patrick John Ryan, Hao Zheng, Hosa M. Tenorio, Hairong Wang, Colton Nixon,
Abel Guan,
Aiden Ruplogel,
Stephen Chen,
Peter James Alejo Roca,
Anissa Ayu Kartika,
Anna O'Donnell,
Minsa Kwan,
Che Talley,
Jenrun Han,
Young King Jong,
Mohammed Asir Adib,
Danchi Zhao,
Cheyu Amber Chow,
Di Zhang,
Su Li,
Simeon Ruiz Payne Narcissus,
Ruth Fowler,
Dhruv Patel,
Jamina Burlas Garcia,
Divyansh Singh, Yixuan Bella Ju, Anchal Hanit Ramchandani,
Linan Leo,
Xuan Ting,
Yang Leo,
Ethan Thomas,
Catarina Forbes de Queiroz Ferreira,
Jesse Lee White,
Matthew Kilbom An, Sarita Risa, Joshua Alexander Flores, Utkarsh Kumar, Runzi Cheng,
Polina Uzornikova, Shungze Ma, Gabriela Preciado,
Andrew Bansel, Aljota Della Gerardesca,
Yifei Wang,
John Stewart Cobb,
Lucas Sia,
Nicholas Grimaldi, Jen Lee,
Shashwat Mathur,
Siki Tsao,
Sumir Mali,
Amber Rochelle Butler, Rishi Chitkara, Malak Krayam, Isaiah Sebastian Bryant, Nasser Abul-Jadayel,
Allison Oddman,
Fian Folua Gambo,
Tosin Omolola,
Lilith Rose Glimsher,
Ray Shehadeh, Haidia Yasmin Mohammed, Florencia Pereira, Augusta Mariano, Chloe Antoinette Santos,
Tiger Lily George Hutchinson, Phoenix Eads,
Next, confer the degrees on the graduates of the Division of, no, keep going, teleprompter please. Now to confer the degrees on graduates of the Interactive Media and Games Division, its chair, Danny Bilson, welcoming our graduates to the stage, Andy Goldstein.
Presenting the recipients of the Bachelors of Fine Art in Game Art.
Kyle Chalian, magna cum laude.
Presenting Kyle's diploma is his father, Hovig Chalian, Associate Professor of Clinical Entrepreneurship at the Marshall School of Business.
Austin Fuad, summa cum laude. Willem Lent, summa cum laude. Ariel Lee, summa cum laude.
Tian Yang, summa cum laude.
Tianyi Huang, magna cum laude. Alia Knowlton, cum laude.
David Nguyen, cum laude.
Mingye Fan, magna cum laude. Danica Abenoya, magna cum laude. Sophia Goodson, magna cum laude.
Claire Tolles, cum laude.
Juan Cabrera, cum laude. Phelan Chen, magna cum laude.
Shihori Takanaka, summa cum laude.
Eleanor Quay, cum laude. Kevin Liang, magna cum laude.
Presenting the recipients of the Bachelor of Fine Arts in Game Development and Interactive Design.
Christopher Kaufman. Alex Burton, cum laude.
Ian Stolzer. Henry Stevenson.
Aya Kimura. Juan Cubides. Emma Higgins, summa cum laude.
Aaron Cuizon.
Julian Avrith, magna cum laude. Kelly Cox, summa cum laude.
Paige Murray, summa cum laude. Anik Panja, summa cum laude.
Luke Kuroda, cum laude. Navia Lee, magna cum laude.
Theron Beck Wynn, cum laude.
Carter Gwertzman, magna cum laude. Noah Hutchinson, magna cum laude.
Calder Swiderski, magna cum laude.
Maxwell Lavanti Mayo Hunter, magna cum laude. Declan Hiller, magna cum laude.
Jonathan Lawrence Vance Williams, cum laude.
Grayson Geng, magna cum laude. Vikram Gonuguntla, magna cum laude.
Chris Raimundo, magna cum laude.
Isabella Ferdico Faget, summa cum laude. Alexandra Custera, cum laude.
Sydney Walker, cum laude.
Hugo Ferguson, magna cum laude.
Ryan Rosendahl, cum laude.
Jack Brasesco.
Tiffany Dreesen.
Jolyn Huang, summa cum laude.
Luke Alexander Pennell.
Chandler Jiang, summa cum laude. Ziqi Gao, magna cum laude. Celia Lapena, cum laude. Wing Yu Quan, magna cum laude.
Boston Moreland, magna cum laude. Yeah, keep going.
Amelia Nielsen Slaybach, summa cum laude.
Drew Henderson. Ishan Dutta.
Presenting the recipients of the Bachelor of Fine Arts in Themed Entertainment.
Amy Jang.
Yu Dong Zhang, summa cum laude.
Jinhao Fu.
Liam Levy, cum laude.
Natalie Hopkin, cum laude.
Brett Patrick.
Keep going.
Talon Cruz, magna cum laude.
Presenting the recipients of the Master of Science in Game Design and Development. Anthony Scott Alvarez.
Qingye Liu. Yuhao Chen. Madhupriya Basu.
Jelani Peter McKenzie. Xiao Zixuan.
Tamia Chapman.
You're welcome,
Cooper
Cooper.
Yang. Jeffrey Yang. Qianlin Chin. David Mindlin. Ariel Sol Bertolfo Schwartz.
Ari!
Wengsuan Li. Jichuan Bai. Palin Ha.
Presenting the recipients of the Master of Arts in Media Arts, Games, and Health.
Josiah Herforth.
Francis John Parazzini.
Yichi Li. Yunlei Liu.
Keep going.
Xiangju Sun.
Presenting the recipients of the Master of Fine Arts in Interactive Media and Games.
Nicolas Gomez Velandia Gomez Para. Yibei He.
Yi Zhao. Yufei Zhu. Bernice Wang.
Shoyu Chen.
Shelby Zhang. Li Zhang.
Niall Imtiaz. David Wengshuan Liao.
Isha Si. Iza Tian. Chinyi Zhang.
Yeah. And finally, now to confer the degrees on students in Media Arts and Practice, Division Chair Holly Willis. Presented by Elizabeth Ramsey.
presenting the recipients of the Bachelor of Arts in Media Arts and Practice.
Leticia Gomes Carvalho, summa cum laude. Fiona Chu, cum laude. Ashley Nayung Kim, summa cum laude. Nikia Phoenix, summa cum laude. Joyce Insaw Kim, magna cum laude. Deja Childs, cum laude. Lam Chung. Sydney Holloway, cum laude.
Ian Lee Wong, summa cum laude.
Ayana Lopez, magna cum laude. Ian Chen, magna cum laude. Kayana Kaneshiro, summa cum laude. Franklin Lamb, magna cum laude.
Sam Wu. Stella Amelie Maya Schauble, cum laude. Mason So, magna cum laude. Natalie Lucia Scamardella. Theo Pleasure Park, cum laude.
Jelani Andre Joe Anthony Fisher. Alexander King.
Xinghan Zhuang, magna cum laude.
Olivia Howard. Ming Leng, summa cum laude.
William Reese Allen Madison, summa cum laude. Mirandi Si Yuan Wu. Kate Shin.
Aaron Lee, summa cum laude.
Zachary Sullivan, magna cum laude.
Angelica Un, magna cum laude. Mustafa Nawaz Chatta, magna cum laude. Anne Fitzgerald, summa cum laude.
Zazriel Sotomayor, magna cum laude. Presenting the recipients of the PhD Doctor of Philosophy in Media Arts and Practice.
Kumi James.
Kumi will be hooded by her dissertation chair, Dr. Holly Willis. Dr. James's dissertation title is Sounding the Underground, Sonic Infrastructures for Socialist Cultural Praxis.
Selwa Swaydan.
Salwa Swaidan. Selwa will be hooded by her dissertation chair, Dr. Holly Willis. Dr. Swaidan's dissertation title is Consensing, Ethical Contact, Effective Design, and Algorithmic Bodies.
Dana Dahl-Bow.
Dana will be hooded by her dissertation chair, Dr. Virginia Kuhn. Dr. Dalbo's dissertation title is The Future Has Been Canceled, Distributed Consciousness in an Age of Co-Intelligence.
Now, finally, to confer degrees on the graduates of the Division of Cinema and Media Studies, Chair Carrie Keelan. Welcoming our graduates to the stage, Emma Ago.
Presenting the recipients of the Bachelor of Arts in Cinema and Media Studies. Ryan Leong, cum laude.
Leza Acosta Concha.
Audie Lotzbisch.
Darcy Bergstink, magna cum laude.
Jenna Page Goldsmith, summa cum laude.
Gina Yo, magna cum laude.
Mia Russman, magna cum laude.
Zoe Barron, magna cum laude.
Tiffany Ho, cum laude.
Joshua Silva, magna cum laude.
Aria Francis, magna cum laude.
Isabella Amansi Graziani, summa cum laude.
Ava Brown.
Portia Sokol, summa cum laude.
Angela Yuen, summa cum laude.
Luke Chotopad Legrand, cum laude.
Nina Sway, summa cum laude.
Rachel Ramirez, magna cum laude.
Yanni Liu, cum laude.
Lauren Kim, magna cum laude.
Logan Aparicio, cum laude.
Leah Perongine, magna cum laude.
Daniela Chico, magna cum laude.
Spencer Hellstrom Diamond, magna cum laude.
Portia Martine, cum laude.
Ava Kelly, magna cum laude.
August Henry Zander.
Kate Cowderwald, magna cum laude.
Enoch Lai, magna cum laude.
Owen Richard Doherty, magna cum laude.
Andrew Nicholas Wu, cum laude.
Joe Jordak, magna cum laude.
Hugh Vo, cum laude.
Othel Owen.
Chinema Ake, magna cum laude.
Ziyu Wang, magna cum laude.
Matthias Murillo.
Megan Falness.
James Mai.
Austin Cooper, summa cum laude.
Russell Frost, summa cum laude.
Jade Gibbs, cum laude.
Grace Gordon, magna cum laude.
Brandon Valdivia, cum laude.
Duncan Geisler, magna cum laude.
Audrey Sos, magna cum laude.
Matthew Augustus Chan Chiak Yi, summa cum laude.
Jalila Ushabi Adiados Sirakat.
Juawar Wong, magna cum laude.
Kilani Rose Nikut, summa cum laude.
Lily Young.
Anna Poland, magna cum laude.
Asha Dukipati, magna cum laude.
Sumar Swift Bitar.
Ariel Gilmore, magna cum laude.
Maya Austin.
Zaria Christine Calhoun, cum laude.
Jack Hegney.
Tamiko Young, magna cum laude.
Christina Seaver, summa cum laude.
Deja Sorrell.
Katie Turner.
Verinda Das.
Valentina Marsilio.
Veer Ojas Khanna.
Maya Guevara.
Alex Ramirez, cum laude.
Julianne Qualman, magna cum laude.
Angela Henderson, summa cum laude.
Aaron Chang, cum laude.
Io Hosono Weintraub.
Maisie Blue Wilkinson Zanger, magna cum laude.
Lizzie Henriksen, cum laude.
Elizabeth Grierson, magna cum laude.
Parenda Farugi, magna cum laude.
Sean Guzman, magna cum laude.
Pantea Farugi, magna cum laude. Yi Nyo Chen, summa cum laude. Presenting the recipients of the Master of Arts in Cinema and Media Studies. Jia Jian.
Miriam Cindy.
Lissa Heineman.
Yifei Li.
Miao Hao.
Yangzhu Long.
Marissa Diane Kennedy.
Maya Ledesma.
Yichen Ike Leo.
Jessica Lindell.
Alex Cho.
Payal Patel.
Yeo Max Young.
Laura Gardner Longo.
Presenting the recipients of the Doctor of Philosophy in Cinema and Media Studies. Raymond Kyuyong Ra. Ray will be hooded by dissertation chairs Dr. Tara McPherson and Dr. Kara Keeling. Dr. Ra's dissertation title is On WAC, Transnationalism, Transmediality, and Transduction of Queerness.
Well, graduates, congratulations. I think the number today was 583. So we need 583 of you out there leading the future, and I'm sure you will. It's my pleasure now to get to welcome you to the ranks of alumni and the 18,000 graduates who have preceded you, and they're out there waiting to welcome you. So please work together and take care of each other in the years to come. You know, I hope you just stay curious, I hope you stay courageous, and above all, compassionate. And hold on to those dreams. I know you will. So as we close this ceremony, I need to ask that all of our guests remain seated until the platform party has left. And then please join us over on the main campus for a reception in honor of the graduates.